How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about should you summon for the newest unit, which is a Blazing Bash unit in the form of, yes, none other than Shikamaru Nara. Now, I honestly was not expecting this, but I even see someone say that, you know, they threw us a Shikamaru for Blazing Festival right before anniversary last year. It's seeming like a repeat, kinda, but I was not expecting a Blazing Bash version. The only Shikamaru that we've really had for PvP, aside from the old Blazing Bash one, that could actually be viable was the one with the Karama cloak, but even that one is not good nowadays because of how just immobilization resistance is non-existent. I mean, well, immobilizing someone is non-existent, I should say. Immobilization resistance, on the other hand, every unit has that. So it kind of didn't make sense for them to add a Shikamaru, you know, because of the fact that everybody can just ignore immobilization nowadays. That meta's kind of ended. I wasn't expecting this, but if they made this man different, then hey, by all means, go right ahead. So I actually do like the artwork for this Shikamaru. If I'm being honest, it doesn't look bad. They're getting better with Blazing Bash artworks. If I'm being quite honest with you, I think Itachi's artwork was a little better, but come on, it's Itachi Uchiha, you know? So, first of all, I'm gonna go out and say that this Shikamaru is kind of weird. He really is, he really is. So, first of all, we're gonna look at his Unblazing Awakened form first. He is a 3-6 chakra no matter what, which is good, but at the same time, Itachi was 3-6, so it's like, man, they're gonna kill us with that 3-6 chakra, man, they really are. Now, this man does ignore immobilization. He has a 5 and 2 for the second ability there. He ignores the damage reduction one. 2 extra turns on his secret technique right there, and then he also gets an ultimate reset for 30%. So, I mean, this is PvE. You're not really expecting much, you know what I'm saying? So, that's just Shikamaru, but I just wanted to show that he is 3-6 either way you look at it. Now, looking at the PvP form, let's see, yes, it is this one. So, this Shikamaru, he's going to ignore immobilization, have a 40% damage reduction against wisdom typing. He is bravery, so I guess that is good. 20% chance of status ailments being inflicted, and then a 4 times critical rate boost right there, or damage boost. That's really good, and then ignores the damage reduction effects again. So, this man seems like he's about that damage with those last 2 abilities, and I'm glad they made the first ability ignoring immobilization rather than having you go all the way to the end or something like that, or halfway. I think that's really good, and it's kind of cool that we just have a mobilization that's not a sync skill once again, because sometimes that can be really hard to pair with. I feel like with Itachi, that was one thing that a lot of people didn't enjoy. So yeah, there's that. But if I'm being real with you, the abilities look kind of weird. Like when you look at a Shikamaru, you weren't expecting to see stuff like that, but it kind of makes sense because they were kind of limited with what they could do with him, I feel like, because if you can't inflict immobilization, what are you gonna do? And they had to make it where he could just have resistance while at the same time doing damage. So that's obviously what they're going for, and because he's a 3-6, I mean, you can keep using him over and over and over again. I'm glad he didn't have a chakra reset, but he doesn't really need it as well. So there is that, but we'll actually look at the translations in a minute. But first of all, this man, he's not too terribly speed. He's 341 speed right there. I'm assuming that is with pills. If not, 371 is not that fast. I mean, when you take a look at like Itachi, who is now like one of the fastest units in Blazing Bash, next to Tobirama and Shisui and stuff of that nature, this man is gonna be slow. This Shikamaru is gonna be slow, man. And just because he can ignore immobilization doesn't mean he can't get jutsu sealed or chakra stolen or chakra just sealed in general. So there is that. So I don't know how I feel about that per se, but he is a 3-6 nonetheless. So we'll look at the translations in a second. One more thing of note is that we do have a talisman actual panel mission coming very soon, which I kind of wish they wouldn't have done that, just because you can actually get a talisman if you do 50 super impact, or impact missions rather, for the ninja trials. You can go ahead and get a free one that way, but if you guys are struggling and still need another one, then you might as well go ahead and grab this one up right here. I just kind of wish they would have given us another unit. That would have been a lot of fun, but I'm not gonna hate. This is really cool. So we have that to look forward to next week. It's gonna be on JP this week, and on top of that, 5 Kage League unit has been announced in the form of Orochimaru. Now, I did get 5 Kage League Sakura, and if Shikamaru is going to be the Blazing Bash unit for this one, then I think I might go in again, because he doesn't look like he's going to be that much of a threat. Even with the 50 speed boost, he's not going to be that much of a threat. Itachi, he was really fast. He was the fastest unit in PvP last week, and he still wasn't that big of a deal compared to some past Blazing Bash units that we've had in the past, like Shisui, for example. So if that's the case, I might actually go for this Orochimaru, although I really don't care that much. It's Orochimaru. I kind of just went for for Sakura just to get back into things, but Orochimaru doesn't look like he piques my interest, but we'll go ahead and look at the translations for all of that now. So as always, I'll be leaving the links in the description for everybody's Twitter, Nordax, Lab King, and Anton, so appreciate all of you as always. And with that said, so let's go ahead and look into it. So this is Blazing Bash Shikamaru that we're gonna be looking at. I'm gonna kind of skip the Unawakened one because I just wanted to show him just for video's sake, but we don't really need to look into him. I feel like a lot of people don't care about that, honestly, so I don't need to. It's good to know. If you still want to look at the information, go look here on Twitter. It's very important to still know it, but I just don't feel like I need to show it. So there we go. So Shikamaru, he is going to have 48k health, which is not bad, honestly. It's not bad at all for a Blazing Bash unit like that. His stats for his attack aren't too high, but then again, he does have a crit rate boost, so that kind of evens out. He does have 341 speed there, so again, I just don't feel like he's gonna be too fast. I don't know if this is with or without pills, but even if it isn't, even with a 50 boost, just underneath 400 like speed nowadays is not great. So field skill, he immobilization resistant by 50-60%. Now when I first saw this, I thought this was kind of weird because the man already has a mobilization resistance on his jutsu, but because it's a field skill, that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to really boost up the people around you. So for whatever reason, if you have a unit that doesn't have a mobilization resistance like Kaguya, who only has that first ability for like 50%, you can go ahead and put her next to this Shikamaru, and she should hopefully be 100% mobilization resistant, and you'll be safe. So that is really good. That honestly is. It's one thing to be immobilization resistant, but it's a completely another thing to go ahead and give someone else a mobilization resistance like that. So that's actually pretty cool in my opinion. Buddy skill reduces the damage taken by 30%, so it's not bad. Damage reduction, again, the Shikamaru is kind of just, it's weird. It's like he's got so many different things. It's not one straight thing, you know. So when it comes to the ninjutsu though, again, he's 3-6, so this is AoE, but it has a 65% chance of speed reduction for 4 seconds and switch sealing for 5 turns. So yes, switch sealing meta is still in play, man. So you might need to take some units, especially if it's going to be a bravery boost this time around, I'm assuming. You might want to go ahead and dig out the super impact Madara from your box and go ahead and bring him, because switch sealing resistance is going to be clutch. Because yeah, if this man's a 3-6, even if he's slow, no matter what, he's going to be able to get that jutsu off probably, and that's going to hurt a lot because it is for 5 turns. That's a lot. Secret technique, if you do get his 3-6 chakra 6 ultimate, 20 damage to one enemy, which is good. Okay, he's not gonna just keep nuking everybody. 75% chance of speed reduction, which is ooh, okay, for 6 seconds, and a mobilization for 2 seconds. Now that second part, again, not really a big deal. Most people with the high teams have a mobilization resistance nowadays. Even if you don't, I wouldn't be using a unit like Shikamaru for that. I would use Hashirama or Sage of 6 Paths Sasuke for something like that, in my opinion. But yeah, the switch sealing on his first jutsu is actually gonna be very, very annoying, I feel like. And we'll just have to see how much the speed reduction is, honestly. It could be a really weak one or it could be a really good one. So honestly, not too bad. And that kind of makes sense because when you think about it, Shikamaru, a lot of people imagine him doing a mobilization because he uses the shadow jutsu where it kind of sticks you in place, but that doesn't have to be the only way that you look at it. It can make you slow, or it could stop you in your tracks so you can't switch out. So it does make sense, and I think that's a really cool like adaptation they did of his jutsu. Like I said, they were kind of limited because I mean the meta is so specific nowadays, and you have to be careful with what you do. So I feel like yeah, that's that. Syncing with his skills though, you will sync with bravery, nullify jutsu ceiling. Okay, not bad. I was wondering where the jutsu ceiling was gonna be at. Very important. That's very important. So you could definitely have him and some other bravery units, especially if you're taking advantage of the boost, which I'm assuming is going to be coming. Sync with mid-range, nullify switch sealing. Okay, great. That is good. So not only is he inflicting switch sealing, but he nullifies it. That's not bad. Okay, medium range though, I don't know how many medium range units are going to be very viable. Honestly, I always forget about the ranges if I'm being honest with you. That's why I don't take advantage of that sync skill that much, but I'm glad they made the bravery one the jutsu sealing. Now, with that said, we already talked about the abilities: nullify mobilization, wisdom damage reduction, boost the rate of status elements, boost critical rate, and nullify damage reduction effect. So yeah, I mean honestly, like this unit's just weird. He really is, and I'm gonna be straight up with you, like you don't need to summon for this, man. You don't. I mean, like Itachi was one thing, like he was a damage dealer at the end of the day, but like I feel like he was still really good because of his speed and the fact that he was 3-6, and it was Itachi, man. Like come on now. So I feel like if people were saying that that was a waste of pearls this close to anniversary, then this is definitely a waste of pearls. Now a lot of people are letting the hype get to them. This is one thing I need to address too. A lot of people are tripping out saying no, save your pearls, save your pearls, this anniversary is coming. You still have a month, and even then you don't need to trip that much. You really don't. There's still plenty of time. I could literally, like when I went in for Minato last week, I was fully aware that anniversary is coming up. You still have plenty of time. You can get literally 300 to 600 pearls by then. Maybe not 600. It depends on how many you already have. But you can definitely from 0 get up to enough to have a full rotation by then. So don't trip. But you don't need to summon on this. Definitely not. Like the Shikamaru just seems like another unit, but it's definitely not needed in my opinion. So please don't summon for this, man, unless you just want to. But especially this close to anniversary, I don't think you should, but you don't need to be super cautious like a lot of people are, because you still have time, you know, if you want to spend pearls. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at the Orochimaru, because I am interested in that. Again, shout out to Anton. It's good to see the man back again in the community. I appreciate all his work along with everybody else I've already shown in the video, of course. So here's Orochimaru. He is a body type. He does look kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting Orochimaru, but we have had Jiraiya and Tsunade, so it makes sense to get another of the Sanin. So his jutsu is 5 to all enemies AoE, so that's not bad, but it's a 45% chance slip damage and attack down for 4 turns each. Bruh, that's horrible. Slip damage and attack down is not good, man. It's not good. We don't know the abilities for this man, but he is at 352 speed right there, so unless they give him a speed ability, this man looks trash. He honestly does. His ult is AoE though, so I don't know if he's going to be a 3-6 or not, but even still, 60% chance to speed down for 4 seconds and or HP recovery ceiling. Okay, negates jutsu and ultimate damage to self for 3 turns. Okay, so that's not bad. His ult's not bad, but again, unless he's a 3-6 chakra, that's not going to matter. And that first jutsu is horrendous. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, man. I really don't know how I feel about him. I mean, it's Orochimaru. They've never given us a good Orochimaru in the game, if I'm being quite honest with you. So there's that. We'll see if I go for Kage League then, but yeah, that's gonna take care of really everything. I hope you all enjoyed this. Let me know if you're gonna be summoning, although I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a resounding negative for everybody. I'm gonna be passing, of course. I don't summon on Blazing Bash usually anyway, but definitely not this Shikamaru. So yeah, that's gonna do it. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.